Welcome back to Wanna Be a Pro Wrestler. Me too. If this is our first time meeting, my name is Nikki Heat and I am the host of, this podcast. Today we'll be discussing the do's and don'ts of your first day of pro wrestling training. The first thing that we have to do on the first day of pro wrestling training is to get to the building, right? So be on time. No one wants someone there if they're gonna come late, they're gonna be a nuisance essentially to the whole group. You gotta come on time. They always say if you're early, you're late. But don't worry, wrestlers are usually late anyway, but seriously, be on time. Bring a water bottle. This one's pretty self-explanatory, but the facilities don't always have enough water for everybody, and if this is your first time actually training to be a competitor or an athlete, you'll need at least a couple water bottles or some Gatorades, stuff like that. Please shower before you come. Deodorant isn't always enough for some of those smells, especially if it's your first day. And I know some people just come off work, but showering and cleanliness and hygiene is some people's big irks. Shawn Daivari would always brush his teeth in the beginning of a camp to get started if he came. And I don't know what his deal is. He's kind of a weirdo, but he's taking showers inside of the facility. We don't even have showers, but some people are super hypersensitive to smells and hygiene. Take care of yourself, okay? Do bring gym shoes that are for inside use only. If you plan on learning, you better be ready to work for it. If you cannot do this, it's gonna come off really poorly on you. Do wear a shirt with sleeves. Less sweat on others, the better. We had one exception to this. It was actually Coda Jacobs. For some reason, he would always cut off the sleeves on his shirt. It kind of made him look more bulky, but I never really thought about it, I guess. But he kind of got a pass from Ken, but he was the only one to get that pass. On your first day, you wear sleeves to protect your underarms. And every day thereforth. It is just very simple. It sucks because you get blown up 5% faster, but if you don't wear that, it could affect how others feel about you and if they want to work with you. And the last thing you want is heat before you even get started, if you know what I'm saying. Do bring gym shorts or sweatpants. You aren't John Cena yet, okay? Can't train in jean shorts. You got to be able to move. And I would suggest if you do wear sweatpants, I would wear a pair of gym shorts underneath it, because usually you start to get hot real fast. So even though it might not have a heater in there, you'll get warm pretty quickly, especially if you haven't done stuff like this before. Do introduce yourself to everyone. Don't bother with a worker's handshake. You aren't real pro wrestlers. You aren't in the know. You don't know. It's not serious. No one even really does that anymore. And if they take that seriously, it just goes to show how seriously you might not want to always take them. Do bring knee pads and elbow pads. If you can find them, they're a great asset, trust me. Your knees will thank you. Mat or ring burn is a thing, and it sucks worse than carpet burn. So to mirror the first do, our first don't will be don't be late. This is a business. Treat it like one. It's so serious, I added it to both lists. The second don't is don't bring your girlfriend, boyfriend, significant other. If you're under 18, your school should allow your parents or guardians to observe a class whenever they choose, in my opinion. Because you're a minor, and this is serious stuff, and people can get hurt at any time. I'm not saying your parents should always undermine and micromanage how the coaches talk to people, but they should always allow your parent there. The girlfriend-boyfriend thing is pretty self-explanatory. It's considered a job. Some people do this for a living. Let them sit in the car, let them go home, watch TV. The third don't is actually really serious for me, and it's don't laugh at other students. It's kind of funny when it's haha, it's an accident and we're all laughing together, but if you're laughing at someone, it doesn't look good on you and it makes you look like an a-hole. Okay, not the Ken Anderson a-hole, not the cool kind, the actual a-hole where people are oh, this person thinks they're better than everyone else. We're all there to learn, dude. Don't try to get yourself over. We all know that guy, right? I like to post my scripts. This is what I'm reading actually on Reddit, and this is one of the scripts, And a lot of people commented about the guy that tried to get themselves over. It just goes to show that everyone really doesn't like that guy. The final don't is a little bit of encouragement from me personally. Don't quit after your first date. It gets easier the more your body gets used to it. And for some people, maybe being a pro wrestler isn't going to be for you. But who's to say you don't fit in somewhere else? Who's to say you don't fit in as head of ring crew? Who's to say you don't fit in as a referee or an announcer or a commentator? There are a lot of roles to play in professional wrestling. And if you think pro wrestler is the only one, I got some bad news once you hit 40, kid. And I hope that I made you a little bit better of a professional wrestler today. And if I didn't, then you must be a pretty good pro wrestler already, right? I'll see you guys in the heat.